So I've just finished Fever Dream on your recommendation.
Yeah, so the lesser-known George R.R. Martin novel that nobody knows about.
It's really good.
It's really good, yeah.
I liked it a lot.
I love it. Because it's a vampire story set in New Orleans about the time that steamboats were kind of a thing. And so it's kind of fascinating because it talks about like steamboat culture and technology and stuff like that. I love it. I think it's an amazing story and everyone should read it. It's called Fever Dream, but it's spelled like Fevre.
Yeah, it's like the name of the river.
That's like Gothic. And it's Gothic.
It's Gothic. Is that Gothic?
It's Gothic. Yeah, Fever.
You know.
Fevre. Do you know what? I'm not ashamed that I showed my goth pics recently. I'm really not. I'm quite proud of them.
No?
No.
I was a goth recently.
Yeah, for like 2 hours, and then you started crying and wiped it all off your face.
I quite enjoyed it.
For the 2 hours. You were very good at it. Very good at it. Yeah.
I couldn't really hit the act up, but the look was great.
Yeah. You managed to keep it up for longer than I thought you would. Then your natural kind of cheeriness just burst out. Like, I think you would have been a terrible goth back in the day.
Do you think?
Yeah, because
I don't think you have to be depressed to be a goth.
No, you don't. A lot of my friends would like to.
It's just a style, isn't it?
But like, if we're following the stereotypes, like everyone does.
Stouts, yeah.
Like my accents.
Oh, you gotta stop that.
I know. I really can't though. I really can't. I don't know how. I think I've got issues.
I've got shoes.
Yeah, I've got shoes. Well, also it doesn't help that I watched Chappie recently.
That's not even Australian.
A little bit, I know.
Have you seen this program? What was it called? Oh, it was like 2 Australian women. It was like the name of the program was like their names. It's like blah 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 and blah.
Oh, sounds wonderful.
Oh, it was so funny. Fuck. Kath and Kim.
Okay.
Check it out. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically like 2 Australian women like with super strong accents just like chatting shit to each other.
Okay.
Honestly, I think you'd quite enjoy it.
Okay.
Is it called Kath and Kim?
It sounds like a cooking program.
Kath and Kim. Yeah, it's called Kath and Kim.
Oh, speaking of cooking programs, what is your feeling on deconstructed cheesecake?
I want it back together.
Yeah. Well, what's your opinion on deconstructed food in general?
I don't like it. I think the whole point of food, the reason why these things work is because they are together. You know? You
just like stuff being together, don't you?
I do.
Mate? Yeah.
Makes me sad when things are apart.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Because there's a bit of controversy in the old MasterChef at the moment. Because someone made a deconstructed cheesecake, and it really was just like some crumbs and a bit of whipped cheese, like cream cheese on a plate.
It was just like some flour in a little pile, a little pile of sugar.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. God.
Like a little cup of milk.
Yeah. What, you saw the episode?
A mini butter churn.
Yeah. No, it was... yeah, it was rubbish. But the thing was, she got through and someone else got knocked out. And so there was a bit
if it tasted good, I guess it's fine.
There was a bit of controversy. Like, the other person was better.
Yeah.
Someone actually cooked a laksa on MasterChef and did a decent job of it, and I didn't hate it. Do you know what? I really hate it when people cook Malaysian food on MasterChef.
Laksa.
Because they really screw it up. Like, really, like, do such an epically bad job of it.
Is that the thing with the lobster in?
No. It has no lobster in it. It has
prawns?
no lobster in it.
Something?
It doesn't have prawns in it.
What's it got in it?
It's just like, you know, it's just,
Am I thinking of the wrong thing?
Yeah, you're thinking of something completely different. I don't know what you're thinking of, and I don't care to know.
It's L-U-K something.
Laksa. And there's Singaporean laksa, and then there's the true laksa, which is Penang laksa, which is Assam laksa, which is the best one. But normally when people cook like Malaysian food, like unless they're Ping, who was the Malaysian woman.
Ping was great. Man, I want to eat her food.
They're just awful. They just do, like, someone, like, there was a professional MasterChef, a professional chef tried to make laksa, and it looked nothing like it. She put frickin' nutmeg and cinnamon in it.
It was
Who does that?
Deconstructed.
Who puts nutmeg and cinnamon in it? Oh, anyway.
What is it a laksa?
I'm not doing this because, like, it's just going to make me rage way too hard, and I can already feel my blood pressure rising. But I'm just saying,
so us plebeians at home can understand.
Just Google it.
What is it?
Google it. I'm just saying that I saw someone cook a laksa the other day, and it was actually, she did a really decent job, and I was chuffed to see someone actually properly representing Malaysians. Did you see I made Hokkien mee the other day?
Yes, it looked delicious.
Oh, it was so good, mate. And do you know what the tragedy is? Was I thought about inviting you over to have it because I thought I made too big a pot. And no, I just ate it all. I just ate it all. There was none left.
I did that this weekend, actually.
Oh, there was none left.
I was like, I had this packet of tortellini, and I was like, oh, this is way too much for me. So I cooked the whole thing anyway because I wasn't going to just leave half a packet because it would have been pointless. It would have got wasted. And I just fucking ate it all. It's delicious. I just kept eating. I was like, I'll put it in my bowl and I'll leave what I don't want. And I just ate a whole lot.
It was one of those moments where I was like, oh, I'm not, especially because I've been eating the bits and pieces like while making it, so like eating a bit of the pork and the prawns while I was making it. I was like, oh, I'm not that hungry. Like once the final kind of bowl was in front of me, an hour later I was like, oh, there's
none left.
Very little left. Whoopsie! And I had it for breakfast this morning.
Oh, nice.
Because it's a cold grey day in Bristol.
I am still wet from my cycling.
I know, right? Because I texted you saying, like, I'm already in the office. And you were like, oh, I'm just going to crawl into the shower then and, like, come into the office. And I was like, mate, don't bother.
I made myself a fucking amazing coffee this morning. And I feel great, yes. Yeah? I did it properly, right? I've got an AeroPress. You know what an AeroPress is?
It's like a Swedish penis enlarger.
It looks like a Swedish penis enlarger, but it's, you kind of... I've also got a bean grinder. My parents got me for Christmas.
Yeah, sure, mate.
Have you found any redstone, by the way?
Yeah, I got loads.
Oh, fuck.
I got like 3
I've
stacks.
Been looking for it.
I got 3 stacks, mate. I need slime. I need slime.
Right, well, we can get that, actually, if we just create more shoggoths.
Yeah, I've also made some circuit boards, so I'm pretty much all up in this here.
Sweet, at least someone's on the game.
I just need slime.
Shoggoth.
That's all I need is slime.
Egg. Okay, we can create shoggoths as many as we want, really.
Right, I've made a data reel for you.
Okay, cool.
Mate.
Now we can use that to start making the woolly cow. Where's the data reel?
Hold on. I said I made it. I lied. I'm in the process of doing it.
Okay. What was I saying?
Oh, wait. I need an emerald circuit. I need an emerald.
I've got an emerald. There you go.
Can you give me an emerald,
make 2 data reels, please, if you can.
Yeah, I'll do what I want, mate. I need more slime, though. I need more slime.
Okay. We'll make 1 for now. What was I saying before we got distracted by the actual game we're playing?
Slime.
No, before that.
Shoggoth.
No, I'm related to the game. I can't remember.
Deconstructed cheesecake.
I've forgotten everything. My life is
Pissing off Australians.
Rain, weather, cycling.
Coffee.
That was it. So yeah, oh man, it was delicious. There you go.
What a thrilling story, mate. Top banter. Why don't you write it down on this data reel so it'll be preserved for all time?
No, I did the whole Matt, I've got this temperature thing for meat, yeah? Like you stick it in the meat and it tells you how hot it is.
Oh, so you shoved it up your butt?
So I
Have you ever shoved that up your butt? Have you ever been tempted to shove that up your butt?
No.
Okay.
I put it in my mouth before to see how hot I am.
How hot are you? Are you hot or not?
Apparently, about average.
Distinctly average.
Apparently, if it's any more degrees up or down, I am very ill.
I'm dying. I'm a dead man. I'm just dead.
So, anyway, yeah. I even tested the temperature of the water. Oh, yeah. Exactly 80 degrees.
Is this why you were late this morning?
I wasn't late. I got in perfectly on time, and then me and you chatted for an hour before we started recording. Well,
it's because it's a gloomy day and none of us could be bothered. It's hard, isn't it?
I love this mod, though. This is so much fun.
I love this mod, but when it's a gloomy day outside, it's hard to get the energy to do anything.
That's true.
You could have the best job in the world, and on a gloomy Bristol day like today, you'd feel a bit I don't want to do anything, mate.
I don't really have a raincoat. I've got my coat, right? But so when I cycle, my legs always get wet. I don't have any waterproof trousers, and I know this is gonna happen when I leave the house. This is why I don't want to leave. I'm gonna get to work soaking wet. Thank you for your sympathy.
No, I just provided the soundtrack to
that
your life
good.
Deserved right now.
No, life is hard, Kim.
Life is pain, mate. Mate, life is pain. See, you're turning into a goth now. It's catching.
Life is just darkness and pain.
Darkness.
My only
parents.
My goth impression is literally Lego Batman.
Yeah.
Everything must be dark.
if you want to see why Duncan was dressed up as a goth recently, head on over to Yogscast Kim.
When's it coming out?
Don't know. Depends on when this video is out.
This one's out soon. We're like,
okay. Should be running now on my channel. And then you can see why Duncan dressed up as a goth. You look very good. Your hoodie was amazing.
It's a great hoodie, isn't it?
Good hoodie, yeah. Can I have some slams, please?
Well, let's have a look. See if we made one shoggoth. Let's see what it makes us.
I'll put some more snow
it's only a little one.
in the freezer as well.
There you go. There's a couple of slimes.
That's not enough.
Not enough slime.
I need a lot more than it.
It's alright. There's a new shoggoth coming soon. We need a big shoggoth.
New shoggoth coming to town.
Once we get a big one, we can get lots of slime.
Shoggoth is coming to town.
You better watch out. You better not cry.
You better say
stop
some
summoning
prayers.
the dark gods.
Being a big racist.
is coming to town.
To town.
He has gigantic tentacles.
Oh dear.
He has a gaping maw.
I say? So I was reading an article that Nath Dighton on PlayStation Access tweeted about recently from The New Yorker. So quite a respectable
Yes.
Media outlet, I guess. And it was astonishing and grossly fascinating. So let me tell you about it.
Oh, we were out of water.
It was an article. I'll do that while you just do whatever. So it was an article from a journo who'd had about 33 years of correspondence with a guy in America who owned a motel, and how shall I put this? Installed it so that he could watch people having sex.
What?
Yeah. So he bought this guy.
You had like cameras? Or?
Yeah. So no, this was kind of before that kind of tech was easily accessible.
Peepholes.
Like 19.
Did you have holes in the eyes of paintings?
You laugh.
No way.
But yeah, so basically he identified pretty early on that he was a voyeur.
Right.
And he was just fascinated by human beings. So he bought this motel, and his wife was in on it as well.
What's his name? Norman Bates?
No, but reading this article, it might have well have been. Except I don't think Norman Bates would have liked watching people having sex. And yeah, so basically he just fitted out the attic, which ran over the motel rooms, with grills, so he could look through the grills, like the ventilation grills, down into the room below.
Looking through the grills at the grills.
Yeah, and watch people having sex in his rooms.
Wow.
Yeah. But the thing was, he made like notes on it. Like he would note kind of like the sex, the age, how the person looked, like, and just came up with like.
It?
Well, this is the thing. Like, so he'd been doing it for about like 30 years or something like that, and then he retired. And the reason he sent it to this journalist was that he wanted it to be made public, but he didn't feel that he was talented enough as a writer to kind of write the whole story.
So he is an editor.
So he wanted because the journalist has like written another book about like sex habits in America. So where he like basically went around America kind of, interviewing people and stuff like that about America's sexy habits. So the motel owner was like, oh, this guy's the perfect guy to write a book about sex. But the thing was, he's been like photocopying pages from his journal and sending it to this journalist for about 30 years. So it was kind of while it was happening, he invited him to go and see the motel.
Maybe the reason why this journalist is so popular is because he's been using this guy's writing.
No, because they signed like a kind of a thing.
Right.
And he didn't. The reason he's like publishing it now is because the guy like retired, I think 15 years ago, and he's pretty certain now that he's protected by laws that he can't get sued because there's such a time difference between the whole thing. No, but the thing is like, what fascinated me about the article wasn't the fact that he was a filthy voyeur who enjoyed watching people having sex, but the kind of like commentary that he wrote about it, because he wouldn't just make commentary about like kind of the sex acts or something like that. And often a lot of it was like, the man finished within 3 minutes. The woman was left unsatisfied. There was a lot of that. And he even like worked out stats of like how many times men orgasmed and how many times women orgasmed.
Jesus.
And it was something like,
it was like a scientific experiment.
Like, yeah, in 1 year, he said 97 men orgasmed, 33 women orgasmed. So, like, but what was fascinating was the kind of stuff that he said around that about like human nature and about how miserable like married couples are on holiday, and like his kind of observation, like he had these really detached observations about humanity and how people act like when they think it's private and stuff like that. And that was, for me, what fascinated me the most about the article. But also, like, the guy himself, like, seemed to have this really... He starts developing this kind of godlike complex and starts referring to himself in the journal in the third person as the voyeur. So, like, rather than going, like, I saw this, I think this, I think... He started going, the voyeur believes this, you know, and stuff like that. But he just goes on these, like, really long rants about human nature and stuff like that, and how it's depressed.
That sounds really interesting.
Like, honestly, that's... Sex aside, that stuff was the most fascinating.
Sex aside.
And then he started doing experiments, like he called the honesty experiment, where when someone checked in, he would call out to his wife and go, oh, we've just had a call that a client left a suitcase with $1,000 in it, so we need to look out for that. And then he'd put like an empty locked suitcase in that person's room, and he counted
That's fucking great.
He counted how many times the suitcase was returned to him honestly, and he said in the space of 15 people who went through the honesty test, 2 people returned the suitcase untampered.
Wow.
And then everyone else tried to dispose of the suitcase after opening it. And like he even snuck into the vents to like hear what people were saying about the suitcase.
Weirdo.
Like, and he said so many people would discuss like, shall we return it? Shall we open it? Like, what should we do with it? And like, yeah, I just thought that was the fascinating stuff. Like, and the people who were like breaking it open were like lawyers, barristers, judges, policemen, stuff like this. And I was just like, oh my god, that's so messed up. Like, yeah.
So, and that'd be like, that's one reason to own a motel, I guess. Just to do funny shit like that.
Yeah, you think that's funny? But then he said, like, there was a lot of examples that really depressed him, like people who would, like, pee in the sink and, like lie about stuff that in the room. Like, one couple brought in a dog, it pooped everywhere, they tried to clean it up, and then when he refused to give them their deposit back, they were just like, yeah, but nothing happened. Like, you know, they just tried to basically lie, even though he saw the dog pooping everywhere. You know, and just things like people stealing...
the room is completely covered in poop.
Yeah, people, like, stealing stuff from the rooms, and, like, it's just, like, the observations he had were quite depressing. And because his motel was near a veterans retirement home, it was filled mainly with Vietnamese war veterans, so a lot of people who had missing limbs and stuff like that. He said some of the saddest encounters he had was when war veterans who had kind of missing limbs and stuff like that had sort of conjugal visits from their wives, and he said the one most depressing bit that he had was there was a paraplegic who came in, and his wife was kind of undressing him, washing him, changing his catheter bag and stuff like that, and he just started crying, and he was like, why do you still love me after all this? And she was like, because I'm your wife. And he was just like, oh my God. Yeah. And like this woman was just being so completely like loving and sort of unashamedly loving, even though her husband was a paraplegic. And like he said it really touched him, like that, that used to see that. But yeah, it was a really fascinating article, even though it was also kind of horrific, because this guy's just been spying on people for 30 years. Like, what the hell? Oh, man.